Hi dear students, welcome to Gallant IAS. I'm Justin and this is history. History is for both optional and GS. So this is a marathon session. We cover so many topics so that will be helpful in your upcoming exam. So coming to paper 1, marathon ancient India. You know that ancient, medieval, modern, art and culture, very crucial areas for your GS preparation as well as for your optional. GS1 section A, ancient India. Of course, there can be question on this one, like IVC, Indus Valley civilization, or it is Harappan civilization. Very quickly, I will cover the core points only. The question can be how the IVC, Indus civilization or Harappan civilization, how it continued to modern day. I mean, the various institutions, practices of the Harappa continued to modern day without breakdown. Not only the religion and religious practices, many other aspects also continued to modern day without breakdown. Related to this, you can expect lots of questions. Now see, let us go for house plan. Okay, house planning. Let's see that the central courtyard is surrounded by many rooms. Okay, that kind of house building, multi-storied houses. Okay, or these tiled roofs houses, okay, attached bathrooms. So such a house building, house planning is continued even today also. Okay, the Nalakettu concept is there, where the rooms, you know, they are opening to the central courtyard. Okay, so that kind of house planning is continued. Town planning is continued, the so-called grid pattern. Roads and streets are cutting into right angles, dividing city and streets into many rectangular blocks. That is smart city abhiyan. Okay, there are different cities. When we discuss this Chhattisgarh or lots of cities, you can see that the town planning, the grid pattern is followed even today also in our smart city abhiyan also, metropolitan cities, and further in smart city abhiyan you can see that this grid pattern is proposed. Okay, so that is followed, that is continued. Drainage, the hygiene, drainage, you know, the house drains connecting with the street drains, that drainage mechanism, that is followed even today. The water tanks and this ritual bathing, that concept is continued today. Water harvesting, Dolavira, the kind of the artificial reservoirs and water harvesting methods followed even today. Then the cotton trade, they were the first exporters of the cotton. So even today also we are the best exporters of the cotton to other countries. Cotton trade barter system is followed even today. Pottery, the miniature and the decorational pottery they made. Today we also have such kind of the painted pottery for decorational purpose. Then amulets, they had amulets as like some identity indicators. Similar way we have amulets for, you know, warding off the evil forces. We wear amulets and all. Then this so-called standard of the weights, measures, and like you see that the standard denominations, you see that all followed even today. Then this dressing pattern, the dhoti, skirt, shawl, upper garments, lower garments, you know, that tradition is followed today. Cosmetics, kajals, you know, they applied a lipstick. Today we also, our women also apply a lipstick. Okay, and their culture, their urban culture, it was a secular culture, secular civilization. That feature is also continued today. Then the game of dice, and multiple crops they cultivated. They had this seasonal crops cultivations. Okay, different crops they cultivated. Today also we have wheat, barley, rice, different crops we cultivate today. In the religious aspects, fire altar they had. We also have fire altars. Linga Yoni worships they had. We also had these Linga Yoni worships, Kamakya temples and all, you know. People tree worship they had. Today we also have the same cult, people tree worship. Bull worship they had. We also have this animal worship today. Earth mother worship they had. We also follow the same. Amulet traditions we follow today. Pashupati Mahadeva, Lord Shiva concept, you know. So let me tell you, many features of this Indus civilization followed, continued modern day without much breakdown. Okay, so these are core points you have to bring if the question is like that. Now there is another topic. It's a common topic which is in the this is you know, Rigvedic culture. Rigvedic culture, the status of women. Usually we say that the Rigvedic women relatively enjoyed a good status, but unfortunately you should have a critical analysis of the same, whether they enjoyed a good status or not. Rigvedic women, comparing with the later Vedic women, women of this Rigvedic, they enjoyed a good status, but we must have a critical approach on that particular statement. See, women participated in Sabha Vidada kind of tribal assemblies. That doesn't mean that every woman participated and women relatively enjoyed a good position, good role in these political or administrative aspects. She attended Sabha Vidada assembly, but there is no women decision makers as such. Okay, importance in decision making, like in decision making she has relatively minimal role, so less importance in decision making. Then women as composers, you can treat women as composers, Lobamudra, so women composers are there, but if you take that proportion, you can see that yes, in Rigveda there are more than 1000 hymns are there. Out of this, only 12 or 15 hymns are, only 12 or 15 hymns are written by, composed by these women composers. Again, you can see that a male chauvinism or a male patriarchal norm or maybe a male dominance is reflected in that aspect also. Then there is women worship, goddess worship concept in Rigveda. But goddess worship is something different. That doesn't mean that real women in the society enjoyed a better status. Even though goddess worship was there, importance given to goddesses, that is lesser than the gods. Okay, male deities were more important than the female deities. Then see, ritual participation. Women participated in the ritual performances and all. Okay, in the rituals and sacrifices, women participated, but doesn't mean that she was the giver or receiver of dhana or dakshina. She was not at all a giver or receiver of dhana or dakshina. That is why we can treat her as this, yes, she had a predominance in these ritual participations and all. Then women sages, again they talk about women sages, but we have no evidence of women priests, and also the prayers which were done, it is only for son, not for daughters. So all these, it give you a critical accounts on the status of women in this Rigvedic age. Moving on to the next topic, which is the seals of Indus civilization. The seals of the Indus civilization, or the role of the seals. The role of the seals, especially how the seals are helpful in reconstructing the history of this Harappan civilization, its a social and cultural or economic aspect. Okay, seals, yes, they give you idea about the script of Indus people. Their script is not alphabetical, it is pictographical, Boustrophedon script. So the script is visible in the seals. We get idea about their dress code, we get idea about their ornaments and ornamentation, we get idea about the animals they domesticated, we get idea about the trade, because the seals mostly used for trade purpose, so their external internal trade. We get idea about the artistic excellence of these Harappan people. Then see, another point is like a Kalibangan cylindrical seal is there, which shows women flanked by two men, and they are holding her, on her head, or by one hand, another hand they are holding this sword. So this image, or the image in this particular seal, is reflecting an idea that human sacrifices might have been held there. Okay. Then there is riverboats and ships representation in the seals, which indicate their internal trade and external trades. Then silver seals are there, which is identified from Turkmenistan, or seals identified from Persian Gulf, Central Asia, and from this Mesopotamia, etc., which reflect that they had this multilateral ties, or they had these ties with international ties with the different countries, especially commercial ties with the different countries, okay, or different other civilizations. Then this Canoyer is of the opinion that totemic symbols, animals have a totemic symbolism. That means here these animals, animals represented in the seals, they represent the different clans existed in the Indus society. Okay, and they say that the unicorn is the symbolism of the elite clan, upper clan, elite clan of this. Unicorn is the symbol of the elite clan of the Harappan society. This is the point which represented, which observed by Ragnagar. Okay, unicorn is the representation of the elite clan. That is an idea by Ragnagar. Then this Canoyer is of the opinion that unicorn is the symbolism of aristocracy class of this Indus people. So you see that seals, what are the ideas or how the seals help you to reconstruct the social economic aspects of Indus people. Now the status of education. The status of education. What was the status of education in ancient India? Of course, ancient education, their major focus was on personality development, their critical analysis, logical thinking, okay, their what is called a personality development, emotional intelligence. All these were the major focus of education of ancient times, focused on methods, rules, and this metallurgy, all those areas. The education was on these areas: astronomy, astrology, astrophysics, etc. Then mathematics, arithmetic. Arithmetic is mainly because these people, of course, there are like people who conducted this trade and commerce and all. Okay, so you see that these were the different areas where they focused their education, and lingua franca of this education, Sanskrit. Sanskrit was the lingua franca of education, especially for this upper class, and it is limited to upper class only. This education initially limited to upper class only. Later on, you can see that with the cultural revolutions, Buddhism, Jainism and all, yes, there are so many like teachings and these writings in the Pali, Prakrit and Abhabramsha. Abhabramsha is, a certain language used by Jain scholars in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Pali, Prakrit are also some vernacular languages. So many teachings and this, literature started in this Pali, Prakrit and Abhabramsha. Then the system followed is Gurukul system of education. Gurukul system of education, which is domestic school, asrama style of education. Guru Sishya Parambara, there is, a bonding between the student and his Guru. Guru Sishya Parambara concept was also followed. Upanayana is the ceremony with which this education actually begins. Okay. Then there is oral tradition. Initially, education is imparted orally. Now say focus also on this, especially in the Maurya, post-Maurya, Gupta age, they focused on grammar, education of, or this teaching of grammar, logic, metaphysics, okay. So different branches they taught, especially medicine, Ayurveda medicine, etc. There is Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, plastic surgery. Then say also the guilds are also powerful, and they also imparted education, they also sponsored education. Then the Buddhist monasteries, okay, Buddhist monasteries, especially coming to this 2nd century AD, 3rd century AD, 4th century AD, etc. You can see Buddhist monasteries also become the center of education. They not only teach the religious things, but also the grammar, the maths, the arithmetics, or what is called the science, medicine, different branches they taught. Okay, Buddhist monasteries, they enjoyed these royal grants and also sponsorship by this aristocracy and by these ruling classes, etc. And Buddhist monasteries, you see that they become the center of learning, and many foreign scholars traveled and took admission, and they stayed for years to get education at the Buddhist monasteries. Gradually they transformed into universities also. Okay, now Pataliputra, Varanasi, Mathura, Ujjain, okay, all these become these Kanchipuram, all these become the major centers of education. Even these Gadigas were also there. Gadigas means these are educational institutions attached to temple premises, temple complexes. They also become the center of education. Gradually education spread to what is called different branches. But again the problem was is mostly the creamy layer enjoyed this education. Education was not mass education, limitations to vocational education, limitations to female education. Okay, this is almost limited to a what is called an urban upper classes only. Now see, there is another topic which is Gupta coinage. Gupta coinage. Gupta age is regarded as golden age, and Guptas issued a large number of the gold coins, silver coins, etc. One of the reasons for this abundance of the gold coins, which is the lucrative trade with the Roman Empire. Then say many historians and scholars consider Gupta age as the reign of gold because of the abundance of the gold coins. Then they were completely, minting of the coins were completely Indianized. The standard of the coins, it was purely Indianized. Then you can see that different types of the coins they issued. What are the different types of the coins issued? You try to understand. Tiger coins are there, lion slayer coins are there, horseman coins are there, archer and Ashwamedha coins are there. All is, reflection of the proficiency and efficiency of this, artist of this Gupta age. Then another proof of, or maybe another idea which conveys the abundance of coins, gold coins existed there, means that also give you an idea that this economy was monetized during Gupta age. Okay, this monetization of economy was, it was almost in the full-fledged scale. Then gradually you can see that there is a decline in the purity of the gold coins from 90% to 75%, from 319 AD to 467 AD. I mean, Chandragupta, the founding father, original official founding father, from his times to Skandagupta's time, if you check, there is decline in the purity of the gold coins. That indicates that yes, this is trade gradually declined, or this what is called the glory of this empire gradually declined. Okay, also it indicates that yes, the feudalism gradually emerged. Okay, then there are copper coins which is mostly issued by the guilds were also very powerful. Then they even issued these copper coins. Then coins on reverse, you can see that they reflected the goddesses, images of goddesses and inscription. Okay, on the other side you can see the images of the kings and queens, etc. So that means they even, like a goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of the wealth, she was on the reverse side. So all indicate that the religious orientations also. So please try to understand. Like coins are also best source to study this Gupta's political, social, economic and religious aspects. Different deities they worshipped, male, female deities they worshipped. Okay, so this is a reflection of the economic life, social life, cultural life. So these are some selective topics which I cover here, which help you to understand, which help you to go for a quicker revision of the history optional topics. Okay, so stay tuned, more and more we are doing, so just go for it. And history is nothing but clearly understanding the story of the past. Okay, that's it. Thank you.